sticking with a hockey theme, we welcome in our first guest, and that is Amanda Smith, the fifth-year senior goalkeeper from the women's field hockey team. Amanda, thanks so much for joining us here on BU All Access. How you doing?
Good, pretty good.
Well, let's talk about the way the season started for you. I mean, Coach Starr came on a few weeks ago on our first show and said, you know, she wanted to make this a memorable season.
Definitely.
Starting off 5-0, setting the program record for starting out a season with 5 wins. That's a pretty good way to start it, I'd say.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We had a pretty successful first couple of games, and obviously beating BC was a highlight, so it was good.
I was just that was gonna be my next question, was talking about that win over number 7 Boston College. You know, it was said even in the post-game article that it was one of your best performances. How would you rank that, and how would you rank that game in terms of your career as well?
I would say it's definitely in the top 5 of my career here, maybe number 1 actually. It was a great game. Everyone came out to play really hard, and obviously there are huge rivals, so we just we're looking to get back from last year. We lost in overtime, so I think especially me, my heart was in it. I was ready to play, and I had a couple great saves, and it kept us in the game. So.
Well, just looking at the numbers from that game, it was the first time BU beat their arch rival since 2005. It was the first shutout over BC since 1999. You got to go back 11 years.
Wow.
Also, it was the highest-ranked opponent BU has beaten since a 2-0 win over number 6 UConn back in 2008. So, you know, I know you don't always want to look for meaning in games, but at the same time, that was a big thing for this program as well.
Yeah, exactly. BC's a great team. They always put up a hard fight, and it was just a great win for our team and our program. Now
I'm going to ask you, you've been here 5 years, now I'm going to ask you to put on your coaching hat. What happened the next game in that 1-0 loss to Northeastern?
Well, actually our coach said we had a celebration hangover, if you might say.
Those things can happen.
Yeah,
a little bit of a letdown.
Exactly, and I think we may have underestimated Northeastern a little bit, and their goalie actually had a great game. She made 11 saves, I believe. And it was just, we had a couple defensive breakdowns, so that's what happened, basically.
And you rebounded with a split in the tournament that followed, but a big territorial advantage against Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State was a rough game. I think there was a little bit of a disconnect, and they had actually lost the day before, so I think they were out for to win. And we had also defensive breakdowns, and our offense couldn't find the back of the net. And me and Julie let in a couple soft goals. So,
you know, in that game, it was certainly quick shots, quick goals in that game. As when you're back there and you're like, all right, the first shot goes in, you know, you're focused again. After the second one, you're just thinking, what's going on right now?
Yeah, it's hard when you're a goalie to look past the goal that you just let in, but I tried to, but I don't know, they were just finding the back of the net.
And then after that, you rebounded with a win over Kent State, a 2-1 game, scoring late in the 48th minute as well. You know, you talk about how far a team can go, and one of the things you've got to talk about is resilience. And certainly, what do you think that showed from this team, that you bounce back win like that?
Yeah, it definitely showed we can rebound after such adversity, because that was obviously a rough game, Michigan State, but we had a couple team meetings, and we did some team bonding to bring ourselves together and rebound, and we obviously were successful, so it was great.
The question I always like to ask goalkeepers, and I'll ask this throughout, is who has the hardest shot that you don't want to see on your team right now?
Just in practice.
You don't even want to deal with them in practice right now.
I would say Jacinda McLeod. She's from New Zealand. She has a pretty hard shot, and especially on corners. And I have quite a few bruises actually right now from her, so definitely her.
I thought it was supposed to make you stronger. What's going on right now?
It does, but you get a couple bumps and bruises along the way.
What do you say to her after practice? You're like, you really had to hit that one that hard at me right there.
Yeah, I know, but it's okay because I know she's just practicing for the game, and I was like, as long as you do that in the game, we're
That's
fine.
That's right. Take it out on the opposition.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just on me.
Now, obviously, when you're in net during the game, and you mentioned the offense having trouble sometimes putting the ball in the net, how frustrating is it, just standing back there being like, all right, we're going to get one back right here, and then having 17 shots against Michigan State, and you've been able to outshoot, I think, half your opponents right now.
Yeah, it's obviously really frustrating. A couple of the teams, the goalies have had really good games, but it's really hard to watch when the ball dribbles past the line and you whiff or something. But we've had Andrea Green has been really successful, and she's been a leader up there in offense as well as Allie. So hopefully they'll get most of the shots in the back of the net the rest of the time.
I'm glad you mentioned Andrea Green, just because obviously new to this program this year. How impressed have you been with what she's done, scoring? What was in the Kent State? The other game she scored goes in 2 halves as well.
BC,
so right, the BC game. That's right.
Wow, we're very lucky to have her. Yeah.
Just glad she's on your team right now.
Exactly.
Well, now looking ahead to this weekend, a fun matchup. Old Dominion coming to town, a team that you guys lost to last year. They were ranked number 15 last year. This year now they came in at number 14 in the new RPI, which obviously is the big number. It's kind of is this kind of a revenge game for them now coming home to you guys?
A little bit. It's always been a close game with them. It's always been close scoring. So I think last year we were definitely upset that we lost that game in overtime. So we're looking to get back and beat them this year.
It seems like so far this year you guys have really gotten up for big games. Is that the mentality right now going into this weekend? Yeah,
it definitely. We've definitely come out to play the big games, and it's just been a fight and a battle. But we also have to look at those not so hard games too, because we've been tending to overlook those, so we can't do that anymore.
Real quickly, you guys, this game will also mark the halfway point of the season. Can you believe it's we've only had 2 episodes of BU All Access during half their season.
And as a 50th senior, you can kind of see it.
It's going by way too fast for me, but it's been great so far, and I just hope we keep it up and keep up the
extend the season.
Work.
That's what you do. Exactly. Amanda, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck this weekend.
Me.
Best of luck.
That's Amanda Smith joining us here on BU All Access. BU will host Old Dominion University this Sunday over at Jack Berry Field. Ball will drop at 1 p.m. We'll have more on that game later in the show. I've kind of wanted to say that for a while. So
that's become a nice.
We get to kind of cue things right now.
Nice intersectional rivalry between BU and Old Dominion.
Well, all of a sudden, it's a good opportunity for the Terriers. Again, another team with a high RPI, and they've had some success with that as well.